Today on Get to the Shoppa!
North Plainfield, New Jersey, JC Comics.
This is a special comic book shop to you, correct?
It is kind of on the home field today. I feel like a home field advantage, and we'll get into the reasons why I feel so lucky that this is my LCS.
So let's hear about this shop's origin story from Joe and Mrs. C.
Origin story, oh, it's interesting. I guess it would have to go back to conventions, because I was probably like 16 and just like any other kid, accumulated some comics and went to conventions. So I guess I went there and I saw the interaction, and I came up with the concept of, wow, I could sell some of my books. And it was a Paramus Fred Greenberg show, and maybe a couple months later I booked the spot, and I just remember doing that, and I was hooked from that point on. And I had a successful show, and I realized you could make money selling comics. My brother, we decided also to open up a store, so I did full-time pharmacy for like 30 years, and we opened up a store in 1990. It was a family business, still is a family business. Got my mother here, she's here on Wednesdays, Mrs. C.
In 1990, when I turned my teaching profession into a comic retail business, I never saw that coming in my life, never. But it's been 32 wonderful years, it really has. I love it, it's not like a job. You know, it's almost like having a second family.
Getting into current issues, I really liked what I saw here for current issues. What did you think?
Yeah, it's kind of like that Men's Warehouse. You're gonna like the way you look, and I guarantee it.
You're gonna like the way you look.
I guarantee it.
You come here to JC Comics, you're gonna like what you see.
I guarantee it.
I think one of the strong suits of this place, they order a lot of titles. I never feel like I'm missing out on any title I'm looking for as far as keys or anything I'm looking for. They order quite a few, quite stacked on the shelf.
When a shop does that, it also means that they end up having a ton of incentive variants as well.
One of the first things when you go into the store, attention grabber on your way to the new books is the variant shelf. Very robust selection of the variants. Now they have the 1 in 50s, 1 in 25s, the 1 in 10s. I know Joe will get the extremely more valuable sought after 1 in 100s. If variants are your thing, JC will have you covered. JC is all about the variants, and especially the more rarer variants.
The one other cool thing I saw in the new books here that I hadn't seen in other places, I like being told what to read. Like, one of my favorite things to do at Barnes & Noble when I do read like a hardcover book is to see what other people like, because I don't have time to read all 100 books that come out. So when somebody actually has the time to do that and says, hey, check out this awesome issue of I Am Batman, or you know, what, or Nice House on the Lake, or whatever is like a cool book that I might not have had a chance to get into. I value that, and I like that they do that here. I've never seen that before.
We have Joe's picks, we have James' picks. Interesting little tidbit, a little flavor we haven't seen yet.
Well, you know, every week I take a look at what interests me, and Eric Powell, I think, is pound for pound one of the best creators in comics these days. So Albatross Exploding Funny Books #1 was a no-brainer, but you know, there's Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. Gotta love Frazetta regardless of the you know, who's writing the book or whatever. But just pick something that, gotta look at what interests you.
I'd like to know what Mrs. C picked.
Maybe we need to go to management with that one.
Yeah.
We need Mrs. C's picks. I want to ask her about that.
For the score, this is our highest one to date.
We've seen some heavy contenders in new books, but I feel so far, I think as far as new books go, this is definitely the store to beat.
For current issues, new books, we're gonna give it a 9.5. Solid.
Wow.
Solid offering for that. Moving into back issues, I thought, again, another really solid offering.
Just nice that they've got like, you know, like good filler. Like, it's not just like one issue of Thor God of Thunder, it's like most of them. Yeah, and just like a ton of old back issues. You know, not the whole run, but like a lot. If you're looking to fill stuff, this is great. This is great for back issues. Oh, wow. Yeah, when are you ever somewhere that has this much new Teen Titans? So like the Ennis run, and they've just got like a bunch of it all in order. Wow. I might have the full Ennis run here. Good prices too, fair. And then the next Ennis run, they've got it all. This is like not wall books, but almost wall books. It's pretty cool. So like some choice books. I love these racks. These racks are cool.
The back issues here, I really like that there's you know, it's kind of like the smallest part in the store, but they figured out a really ingenious way that you can like pull the boxes out on drawers. They've got a lot of back issues. If you look through, there's a lot of filler. It reminds me of Gotham comics in that way, where it's well organized and there's lots of them. They have a dollar bin. They have like a little first appearance bin. They have a hot new book bin that they've got. You were pointing out they've got those. They've got the racks like TV books and movie books. They had a whole box just for Spawn up at the front. I'm sure they have that box for Spawn just for you. They know you're a customer here. They put it right there so when they know when Jesse comes in.
I've come here and pulled a bunch of back issues. I filled up my McFarlane Amazing Spider-Man run here. I'm really putting together my Spawn run here. They have a lot of banger back issues here.
I like to go into a store, be able to like flip through and easily find everything alphabetically, but I also appreciate it when there's like a little bit of like a, hey, here you go, did you know about this? So that like if I'm just rushing into a store, I see like, oh, what is this? You know, and you don't have time to go through the back issues. It makes sense. They do it just enough that it's not like, it doesn't hinder the shopping experience. It makes it better. The other thing I liked about the back issues here was they're fairly priced. You see if there's multiple issues of a book, you'll see one maybe priced a little different than the other because they're actually looking at the grades and trying to price them correctly for you. But to be honest, most of the books in the back issue section, I think he's pretty careful. It seems like Joe's pretty careful about buying like beat up books. Everything looks pretty good in this section. So because of just the good prices and the selection, they have lots of filler. For the score for back issues, we're gonna give it an 8.5. Moving into wall books, this is a pretty cool wall. This, I like the wall here. I actually picked up a wall book, and I think we've said this about other shops. If you come to a store, you see a wall book and you buy a wall book, that means that the wall is probably pretty good. So today I picked up the first appearance of Rogue in the Avengers Annual. I believe it's Avengers Annual number 10.
One of my favorite things that you do at the store is that you actually write what you think the condition is, and it's usually generally fair to it. And then the price is also a good price.
Well, we want to be transparent, right?
And you're also not charging the CGC price of what it would be. You know,
Never.
some stores the wall, you know. But awesome, I'll definitely take it.
Oh, okay. Appreciate that.
Small wall,
Yeah.
but boy, everyone in that wall is a banger. Hot key issue. They do not waste time on their wall here.
Yeah.
Everything's a banger, hot key issue. They're very good at keeping up on the trends, what the hot books are, reflects on the wall. If Joe has a book on the wall that says near mint, man, I know that's near mint, and I feel really comfortable like just snatching that up.
Yeah, he'll even talk to you about it. I feel like he grades a little lower too, just in case. I do feel like his grades are pretty good on that.
I bought several wall books here. I think most recently I got that Teen Titans book, first appearance of Deathstroke. Today, picking up that first appearance, that variant of the Winter Soldier.
Yeah, nice.
And man, that cameo of Gunslingers calling to me. So yeah. I'm not just a spokesperson for the JC comic wall,
but I'm also a client.
One of the things I noticed about the wall here, every time I come here, is it's a completely fresh, different wall. The wall books get bought and they replace them with equally as juicy comics.
You come in next week, half of those books could be gone. That's just a reflection of how strong they are.
But they'll be replaced with other new books, and that's
Quickly.
the cool thing is you can come here every week and be like, oh man, I want to get that. So
always an A+ wall up there. Always A+.
So for the score for the wall books, we're gonna give it a 9.
As far as a comic shop offering toys, you can't get much better than JC Comics, I feel. Small store, they pack a lot in there as far as toys. You can see you got to go above your eye level. They're stacking stuff way up into the rafters.
They had like a giant ET in the corner.
You got to go far above, and you'll have some really, really awesome discoveries up above your eye level.
They've got the Funko Pops like every other place.
Yeah,
and
like I said, they have all the major staples covered. Funko Pops, Marvel Selects, Marvel Legends, robust selection of Star Wars figures.
They got the loose figures too.
They do have some loose figures in the case there, so a little mix of the retro figures in there. Old retro Batman's hiding up there, so you got to keep your eyes peeled. Like I said, there's a lot of stuff packed in here, so you really got to scan it well to get everything. But there's treasures everywhere hidden in there. as far as like toys and miscellaneous
And then,
collectibles.
along with the toys, they've also got the trading card games, and they've got loose trading cards. They've got the packs of trading cards, so you're covered there if you're into TCGs as well.
A little bit of baseball cards. So as far as cards
Yeah,
go,
even new baseball cards. This store reminded us a lot of another great store that we go to, Paradox Comics, as far as the toy offering and the trading card offering. If you're into toys, games, trading cards, this is another great store. We're gonna give that a 9. What did you think about this place's ambiance?
I mean, look at me. I look like a mutant with my heavy metal t-shirts, mullet, you know, over-the-top sunglasses. Mrs. C welcomed me in, and Joe welcomed me in with open arms. Very kind to me from the very first day. The first thing I noticed here as a new customer back in January, everybody knew Mrs. C, and Mrs. C knew everyone by first name basis. So right off the bat, I could see it was a very friendly, warm environment to come and shop and experience comic books.
You come here, Mr. C is always one of the finer people you'll meet.
He is an absolute darling. He makes my Wednesday every Wednesday. This is true.
Who wouldn't run to the coolest place in the world where there's the most beautiful woman in town?
He's a darling. He really is.
They make it a customer-friendly oriented place, and that's one of the things that's kind of great about comics. It's not just about the business of selling comics. It's about the customers and making their relationships, because that's what brings us back.
This is a prime example of our JC Comics family. I mean, Joe is just like family to us, gosh.
Yeah, I've been coming here for 32 years, and I know these people as well as anybody else, and you know, they're just wonderful every week.
So my name's Chris. I'm a local guy. I live like 15 minutes from here, and I started coming to JC a long time ago. I'm almost 36. I started popping in here when I was like 15, 16. I would hit up all the local shops and see what they had. They've got one of the biggest backlogs of anything I've ever seen, especially in the area. There's a few other guys that are pretty good, but they're starting to close down, and you know, JC's the one that's hanging around. But yeah, I like coming in. I know some of the employees pretty well, and it's just a good place to shop.
I didn't even know Joe well enough, actually, early on. I told him my son was in Godzilla. He's like, hey, do you want to borrow my Godzilla DVD? And I'm like, dude, I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, because you don't know me that well, and man, that's a really kind gesture these days. Like, hey, your son's into Godzilla. Here, I'll let you borrow my Godzilla collection. I'm like, wow, that's really, really friendly. But you can come in and talk to James and Tamir. They're usually grinding, packing stuff. You want to talk about whatever hot show is on. I talked to James about the Obi-Wan show last week.
So no surprise, another high score. For ambiance, we're gonna give this an 8.5. So if you're anywhere near North Plainfield, New Jersey, I would definitely put this on the list of a store to stop by and shop. If you're doing a tour of New Jersey comic book stores, this one should be on the list. It's an easy place to spend money.
I feel very, very blessed that this is my LCS, and the main reason I feel it's the family atmosphere. Joe and Mrs. C, you got Jeff, James, and Tamir. It's an awesome place to experience as far as people go. Please come out, experience these shops, man.
Hi, I'm Mrs. C.
I'm Joe from JC Comics. Get to the Shoppa.
Now is the time where I'd like to tell you to hit the like and subscribe button, but also, if you feel like we've got the review wrong in any way, or if we got the review right in any way, please do your review. Let us know in the comments what you think about these stores as well.
I think we've already heard a few of those, but that's welcome, man.